What's poppin', everybody? So, I just wanted to show my face really quickly for people who have not seen my face because I have not been showing it because I've just been exploring this faceless YouTube type of thing. But anywho, um, shout out to Twitch, shout out to the YouTube. We are here, we are live, and we are going to discuss. Now, this conversation is not a conversation that I normally get into, not on YouTube, but I get into this conversation mostly over on my IG. And it's a lot of times I get led down paths to explain how I see things spiritually. Hey, Larisi. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Faye. Hey, Hootie Hoo, uniquely. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Goldie. Hey, Aries. Hey, Real Wise. Hey, Cass. Hey, Two Live. Uh, Medini. I don't know if I said that right, but hey, Unique Savage. Hey, Cam. Um, came to see them. Came to see the mess. Okay. So shout out to everybody. Now, I don't usually talk like this on my YouTube, but I'm going to talk about it today. Now, a lot of people got a lot of things to say. A lot of people are all over the internet with a lot of hoopla and malarkey and a lot of judgment. But something that I'm noticing that's happening is that a lot of these so-called advocates, a lot of these so-called Bible thumpers that want to condemn and cast down, child, y'all probably only know the Bible scriptures that you keep hearing everybody else repeat online, but you ain't never meditated and sat with the word to actually understand what the word is. You probably don't even know who was with the word and the word was with them in the beginning. Do you know that? In the beginning was the word and the word was with him. You probably never even heard that. But yet and still, every day on a daily basis, it's always something. It's always someone that comes across my timeline. Um, you've been reading, Henny. You on fire. Thank you, babe. Hey, Beyonce wig. And the thing is, they condemn anybody and everybody that chooses to stand behind and support Chrisean. And the biggest thing is they feel like, oh, you are condoning, you're condoning, you're condoning. You must be a piss poor, pitiful ass parent if you're condoning. Let me explain something to you about the righteous. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. And I'm not about to get up here and act like I'm some saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, on fire, bona fide colored lady. Because that's what I am not. But what I am is I'm a woman. And when I look back and I see the amount of women, the amount of people in our community that are quick to drag down, to tear down, to condemn, to ridicule, to slander someone that is trying, is very disheartening. I don't think anybody has ever truly gone through something on the other side and really experienced what it's like to have to go through healing, to have to go through reprogramming, to have to go through not only just healing from a traumatic relationship, but healing from a traumatic past, having to relearn what you thought you knew because the way you were brought up, the way the things that you learned as a child were not proper, were not conductive, were not conducive to the elevation that is on your life. They don't know what it's like to have to change who you are. Have you ever rebranded a business? Have you ever had to rebrand? Do you understand what rebranding means? And now I'm not just talking about with a business, I'm talking about rebranding yourself as a person. Remember that Jay-Z line, allow me to reintroduce myself? That's a rebranding of yourself. And you're not just rebranding to you or for you. Well, I should say you're not just rebranding for others, you're rebranding you to you. Do you know what it's like to go against what you've known your whole life to be proper and just? Anybody. Now, if you've been a part of the sector, and I'm not talking about people who just watch clips and then have their judgments and all of that after the fact, I'm not talking about those people, and I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the people who go so damn hard, you would think they've been here from the beginning, but they haven't. And even if you go back and you rewatch some stuff, um, sweetheart, it's different than actually watching things play out in real time, actually getting the impact of what was said. But see, a lot of people don't watch to comprehend, don't look to see. They look to gossip. They look to go back and have something to talk about. There'll be a live where it's 1 hour and 45 minutes of nothing but positivity, but there'll be 15 minutes of something that could be looked at in a negative light. And instead of looking at the positivity, they will focus on that 15 minutes, or they will take and create something out of nothing. It takes a lot more courage to change than it does to remain the same. It takes a lot more effort to be empathetic than critical. And there's a huge difference between constructive criticism and criticism. And while a lot of people will beg to differ and say that criticism is still criticism regardless, constructive criticism comes with a positive. It doesn't just come with a negative. You understand that? So when you've got people that are consistently giving just criticism, it's the problem. Sorry, I had to end the Twitch because it's just too much. I don't want this on Twitch. Twitch, we talk about other things. So I had to end the Twitch stream. So hopefully they'll come over here to the YouTube. People often don't want people to change because people don't like change. And if you've built your platform on being a negative person and having a negative narrative on a person, then you're not going to want to change. You're going to want to remain the same. And the reason you're going to want to remain the same is because, forbid you start turning the other way, you're going to lose your subscribers. You're going to lose that bag that you're making. See, a lot of people are doing things for a bag, but you know what? Here's the biggest question that I have for them. Are you sinless? Are you blameless? Are you upright and perfect? Do you do everything that you're supposed to do correctly? You've never in your life had anything happen that you may be ashamed of? You've never had to work on you? Because let me tell you what healing really looks like. Healing breaks you down to your bone gristle because you have to strip down naked. And I'm not talking about naked of no clothing. I'm talking about naked of all things that are flesh. You have to get soul real with yourself. You have to be willing to admit things and take healthy accountability. And if you don't know what healthy accountability is, you got to struggle with figuring out what healthy accountability means. See, you've got to confess all of your sins to the Most High God, not to man, not to woman, not to your family, not to the internet, to the Most High God. That means that you have to admit to things that you don't want to. That means that you have to evaluate your life, and then you have to take the healthy accountability for the parts you played in your pain, in your trauma. And there's a lot of people that are in their 30s, their 40s, and their 50s that have gone through this process, but not too many people in their 20s are going through this process. My question is, what has she done recently that you have bona fide facts on? See, I could get up here and I could say, all this time that I was gone, I was out there in Baltimore and I saw Chrisean. And I could tell you she was driving around without a car seatbelt on, and she was speeding through the streets. I could get up here and I could say that to people and they would believe it. With no video, no proof. I could get up here and I could say, oh, I've been in communication with someone very close and they've sent me photos and they've sent me this. And I know for a fact what I'm talking about, but never show you the photos, never show you the text. Just gaslight you into believing whatever it is that I'm saying. And the sad part about it is everybody on this internet is easily manipulated. But that's because they don't take time off the internet. They're on the internet 24 hours, 365, 7 days a week. They sleep with their phone. You want to know when I realized I had a problem as a content creator? When I woke up out my sleep and caught myself doing this. And there was no phone in my hand. I literally woke up and was like I was scrolling through a phone. Now, as a content creator, I'm supposed to be online, but I'm not supposed to not have a life. But these people don't have a life. And now I'm noticing that a lot of them are starting to go into the Bible and try to use scripture, but you can't break down the scripture you're reading. You can't put it into a message for people to understand. See, the message that I came on here from the Bible, the scripture that I went to was, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. You know what that means? Do you even know the story behind that statement? See, a lot of people know that statement, but do you know the story behind that statement? If you don't, let me show you an example of somebody who can show themselves approved. So there was a woman who was caught in the act of idolatry, right? She was an adulterer. And let's break down what adultery and fornication is really quick for those who don't know. Adultery is when you have sex with somebody else outside of your marriage. You're married and you go and you have an affair with somebody, you sleep with somebody else, that's adultery. Fornication is when you're having sex outside of marriage. So let's not confuse the two. So she was caught in the act of adultery. And the people brought her to Jesus. And see, they were trying to entrap Jesus. But that's a whole nother portion of the story. We're going to stick to this part right here. And they brought the woman to Jesus and they said to him that this woman was caught in the act of adultery. And according to Moses's law, we're supposed to stone her. Now, Jesus was squatted down writing in the ground. He was writing in the dirt. And they kept questioning and asking him, what should we do with her? Because according to Moses's law, we're supposed to stone her. And so Jesus stood up and turned to them and said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone at her. And then he went on back to what he was doing. And then slowly the crowd disappeared. First, the elders left. And then slowly everybody left until it was the woman and Jesus there. And Jesus stood up and asked her, where did everybody go? And she said they left. And then he asked her, will nobody cast a stone at you? I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I promise you that if you go into John 8, casting the stone is in verse 7. But if you go into John 8 and start reading, you'll get to the story. So they all left. And Jesus basically said to her, if they did not condemn you, then neither shall I. Go live your life without sin. So the point that I'm trying to make with that, because see, I'm not like the rest of these other people who get up here and they want to grab their Bibles and they want to read their scriptures and just read the scripture and close the Bible and get off the live. Or they want to pick and choose what they want to use as a weapon, weaponizing the Bible against people, because I'm not them. But how dare anybody condemn anyone? Not just Chrisean. How dare you condemn anyone? Because I bet you these the same people that don't ever let their family members move away from their past. I bet these are the same people that if they had an aunt that was on crack when they was younger and she went through rehab and now she got a good job and she's doing well for herself and she looked good and she healthy and she's taking care of her kids and she's got her life on track. She did her NA meetings and all of that, and she ain't never looked back after she done healed from smoking that crack. I bet you these the same people that'll sit back and be like, she's still a crackhead. And wait for that person to have a slip up. Now, I don't know if it's a matter of people inflict things on people that they've experienced in their lives because they never experienced compassion, empathy, forgiveness. They never had anyone to encourage them to believe in them. They never had to go through the difficult task of having to uproot who they are and reprogram your mind. Do you know how difficult it is to reprogram your mind and restructure it? See, when you go through a healing journey and you really trying to walk with the Most High God, you cannot. You cannot just think that it's going to happen overnight. It takes time. And as things get stripped away from you, those things get stripped away from you, but the core of who you are as a person still remains the same. See, I can stop cussing, I can stop drinking, I can stop drugging, I can stop whatever it is that the vice may be. I don't do drugs and I barely drink, just so y'all know. Okay, so let's see. We would give her grace, but we would encourage her to keep programming. And if a child is involved, the game changes. But see, this is what I'm saying. What if they've already gone through all of that? What if they've already gone through the process? They've already gone through the withdrawals and the shakes and whatever else it is they go through, vomiting and crapping on themselves. They went through the ugly part of healing. And now they're on the other side of that detox. They're on the other side of that. And they're fighting hard to get to the end goal. During that process, it takes a strong person to be able to keep going. And I couldn't imagine going through my healing process that I had to go through with the whole world watching me and people judging me and people ridiculing any and everything that I have said and done. Do you know that there was almost a whole 2 hours of an interview and people have only focused in on 2 clips from that live, from that conversation? There was a whole lot to unpack there. I could sit down and break down Dan's live in videos for the next couple of weeks. She talked about Bino. She talked about Ryan Garcia. She talked about NLE Chopper. She gave a whole routine of what she does every day in her life. She spoke about her training. She spoke about a lot of different topics. Yet no one picked up on any of those other topics. I am. I'll be giving y'all another video off the Danza Project interview. Just one more. And it won't have nothing to do with Blueface. And it won't have nothing to do with the baby. It'll have something to do with something positive. See, I'm going to be so very honest with you. Being on that other side and having people constantly reminding you of who you are or who you were and what you used to do. Do you know how annoying that is? I remember when I stopped and transitioned from ripping and running. And I wanted to be an at-home mom. I didn't want to go clubbing. I didn't want to do none of that. I just want to be a boring mom. And people will call me and say, girl, you don't remember when we went out to such and such and we had such a good time, girl. We got so drunk. I remember, but I don't want that. I'm cool. Or people constantly reminding you of a flaw. People drinking in front of you, knowing you don't drink, and then trying to pass you a drink. Could you imagine if everything that you did, it was on the internet forever? Could you imagine every time you make some progress, here comes something from your past? I wish people would put themselves in her shoes for just 1 second. I wish people would sit back and really look at everything that's going on and just think. See, there's a lot of people that feel entitled to a lot of things that they're not entitled to. I heard a lot of this being said. She needs to come live and she needs to just take accountability for what she did. She just go ahead and admit to what she did. You mean you want her to come live and you want her to confirm or debunk what you're saying? That's what you want. You want her to stand before the world and confess her sins when confession is not for the public. Confession is between her and the Most High God. See, people got this entitlement thing too twisted. And in all actuality, I feel like not just with Chrisean, with any celebrity, people feel like because now we can have access to them, we can jump in their inboxes and maybe they'll answer us, maybe they won't. They will go live and they will show us things that are going on in their private life. They will come on live and they will vent about things that are going on with them. But back in the day, how we used to know things is through Double XL, The Source. What was the other magazine? It was Double XL, it was The Source, and it was another one. What was the other magazine? Either way, we found out through them. We found out through people like Wendy Williams, Star and Buck Wild, Funkmaster Flex. Now, I'm talking about New York DJs because that's where I grew up at. But Vibe, thank you. Hey, Poppington, we found out through Vibe. But now with social media, we've gotten so up close and personal with people that we feel like we're entitled to them, and we're not. And we're not. And because they share, we feel like we're entitled to know everything that's going on in a person's life, and we're not. And I'm not just, even though Chrisean is the foundation, I'm just speaking in general about people in general. Because at the end of the day, y'all don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody into. Yet here y'all are condemning somebody. We get out here, we take baseless rumors as fact, and then they grow legs because of the people that amplify them. This is a nasty game. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want to really participate in the negativity. I'm not a negative person by nature. And I don't really like a lot of people. Hey, Miss Keep It. But here I am in this industry, and all it is negativity. Everywhere I go, everywhere I turn, it's nothing but negativity going on. And the sad part about it is we've lost our morale as a people, as a community, as a whole, as a society. We've lost our morale. And I've been saying this and I'm going to keep saying it because it is true. The first child that I remember getting bullied online was Blue Ivy. And I remember back then, people used to really go in on people who were talking about Blue Ivy. They were making little memes about her and everything, and it was distasteful. But now all of a sudden, we fast forward and it's okay to talk about it. Listen, I don't want to hear that bullshit that I'm talking about the mom. When you're sitting up there talking about the child, he can't, he don't got, he won't, he don't. That ain't talking about the mom. That's talking about him. And then your shit gets debunked and y'all come up with a new lie. Or it gets debunked and y'all harp on another lie. I've never seen this shit before in my life. And I am sad to say that it's looking like it's something that's becoming the norm. And I question myself, who's the next celebrity that's going to face this type of ridicule? What celebrity kid? We've had bigger stars, no disrespect, that have had bigger issues that were not slandered. Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, crackheads, coke addicts, had a baby, Bobby Christina. Nobody called Bobby Christina a crack baby. Am I right or am I wrong? And guess what? Everybody still loved Whitney. Even after Whitney said, I don't smoke crack, crack is whack. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. No, she just smoked her cocaine pure with no chaser. I won't call him a drunk, but Justin Timberlake just got caught with a DUI. But the point that I'm making is we've had celebrities in the past that have gone on to be iconic, even through all of their scandal. So why is it that we have whole sectors of people that wake up, go to bed, eat, sleep, shit for every error and flaw? Then you've got people out here that talk like they know and they don't know shit. You don't know a fuck thing out here fake advocating. And I said I wasn't going to get on this, but fake advocating, making up narratives as you go, lying and getting the people all hyped up because all you're doing is amplifying other people's narratives, not really doing your own investigation, not really doing any digging into anything. All you're really doing is scrolling through social media and then picking apart what you want to pick apart. That's not how you dig into a sector like this to get information. If you're a real advocate, Star from Star and Buck Wild did. What did he call Bobby Christina a crack baby? Don't make me laugh, Bob. In a sector like this, when you want to get into the nitty gritty to understand everything that's going on, baby, you've got to go and do your own research. That means you got to sit down and go through what, 5 years of content? You got to watch the lives. You got to go find the stories that people were talking about because there's people that was covering it now. You got to go dissect everything in order for you to know what you know. And then there's people like me who do know, people like some of these people in this comment section over here that know because they watched from the beginning. See, a lot of people only know about the first incident of Blueface and Chrisean fighting, being outside that bar when she had the braids in her hair and they was scuffling and tussling all over the ground. That's not the first incident. The first incident is when Chrisean was at her booking and she went to go get her money and she came up on live and her face was all busted up and he put his hands on her. And that's what her family was pissed about on Crazy in Love season 1, because it took all of us by storm to see her like that on a live video with her face all jacked up. And then she came back the next day and said she had a bad trip off of the Casamigos and that there was no makeup on her face and that she tried to jump out the car and he tried to save her. You know what that is? That is when somebody is going through a DV situation, regardless to whether people want to call it what it is. I'm going to call the spade a spade. You always make an excuse. But we know what we saw the night before. We weren't blind. It didn't go away. That shit was hella viral everywhere. We all saw it. That was the first time we seen it. And the fight that was happening outside the bar, she didn't initiate it. He did inside the bar because he grabbed her by her braids. But I bet y'all don't know nothing about the clip that was released before they got outside. Y'all quick to say, Chrisean did this and Chrisean did that and Chrisean did this and Chrisean did that. Blueface had her living in the Camo Mansion while he and Jaden were living in the house that he's in now. And he was going back and forth between the Camo Mansion and that house, between Chrisean and Jaden. I'm giving y'all some facts, but I ain't going to keep running down the whole timeline. Y'all got to do your own research so that y'all know exactly what y'all are talking about. Y'all want to talk about and keep playing that clip from Crazy in Love when she was talking about, oh, I could drink and I'm just going to get rid of the kid tomorrow. And y'all keep putting this narrative to that clip, but y'all don't even know what led up to that event. Y'all don't remember him online tormenting her. Y'all don't remember when he got online and said she should have never told me that abortion was even on her brain because now I'm going to keep going until she gets the abortion. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember how he was making her miserable her whole pregnancy? Y'all don't remember he put her out the house with no money? Y'all watching Crazy in Love, right? You don't remember when he said that she was basically going to leave out that bitch the way she came in? She left without a dime, but then y'all are quick to talk about how she was in the clubs performing while she was pregnant. She had to get money. Why did she go on baddies? She had to get money. He took her money. Why did he take her money? Because she was signing her checks over to him because she didn't have a bank account. She was trusting him to manage the finances. That means every interview she got paid, he got the money in his account. Every TV show appearance, the money went to his account. Any booking, any hosting, the money went to his account. And he put her out without a dime. And then he moved his first baby mama back up in the house with his kids. And then he's going live every day taunting her. Why is that so hard for people to comprehend that he drove her to the point where she was just like, I don't even want to be pregnant anymore? He drove the girl to a brink to where she had a breakdown in a hot tub crying out she don't want to be famous anymore. A line and a scene that his mother has poked fun at. And y'all don't see the wickedness in that? What kind of people are you? And it took all the way till they got the results from the DNA test back for him to say, now you could get some pregnancy treatment. And she was like, I don't want no pregnancy treatment. After everything that he did. Now let's look at the other side. Because didn't he get engaged to Jaden, to leave Jaden, to go back to Chrisean? Didn't he leave Jaden in the house to go be with Chrisean in the hotel? Didn't he say, I will be homeless with you in the hotel? I will leave my family and be homeless with you in the hotel till we find you a place to stay. Didn't he say that? And y'all don't remember the live with her and Sadie on it? And Jaden was watching Chrisean page to see what Chrisean was doing, to see if he showed up over there. You don't remember Jaden saying that she broke the TVs in the house? You don't remember that even after that, she still stayed, and you don't remember that he took the baby from Chrisean's house and brought it over there to the house and was going to have Jaden and Chrisean fight. But instead, Jaden and Chrisean ended up coming live together, and we was all like, what the hell is going on? And Chrisean took Blueface to her house so that Jaden could leave Blue's house with no issue. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember? Chrisean took him back to her house, and then she left him there, and her and the baby went to K Swab's house. And when Blue got back home, Jaden and the kids were gone. All that toxicity was missed out on. And it's all one person's fault. Y'all are delusional as fuck. Y'all are delusional as fuck. There was one common denominator in all of those scenarios I gave you, yet nobody holds him accountable. I don't understand how Chrisean supporters pretty much be like, hell no, we won't go. But if she go back, there ain't shit we could do about it. But ain't nobody really out here pushing her to get back with Blue. Let's be honest. Nobody's really pushing her, but it's her life. We can't control what she does. We can't tell her what to do. And if she ends up back over there, I mean, it's her life. Jaden supporters, why do y'all keep pushing him and her back together when he don't do right by her neither? Everybody is watching. Everybody can see now who the problem has been. And Chrisean even came out and said, in order to deal with him, you got to be drunk. And we've watched Jaden be knocked down, drag him out drunk. Got to be some truth to that. Because how you cannot sit in no shit like that. Like Danza said, you can't sit in no shit like that and be sober. You got to do something to numb your pain, to ease the pain, to help you go into denial and be delusional. Yet there is no real accountability or hate train towards a man who has already dogged out not one, but two baby mamas. He sleeps with Jaden, then goes talks about her. Didn't Chrisean tell us that he will be talking shit about her and they be laid in the bed together? See, y'all missed all of that. Y'all missed all of that because y'all wasn't here. So my thing is, if you can't sit down and run down facts like that and go all the way back and bring it forward, because I could sit here and tell you the whole story from Blue Girls Club to now. Because I've been here. So when motherfuckers get in their feelings about Henny speaking, oh well. When motherfuckers want to sit up here and they want to be like, oh, no. I've been here. I've been watching. I've been watching. Chrisean and Jaden are victims of Blueface, and Blueface is a victim of Carlissa. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? When people look at me and they be like, oh, she's from the Chrisean Rock sector, you goddamn right, because I know this sector like the back of my fucking hand. I know it. May not keep up with everything presently like the way I used to, because I'm just tired of the toxic. I'm tired of the shenanigans. I'm tired of the same thing over and over again. But I could tell you the history. And yes, I could even tell you in some of that history, Chrisean was not an innocent victim where she was blameless. That's not true. She had some blame to her, yes. But there was one villain in this whole thing that's been consistent even to now. If we're looking at the stories and there has to be a villain, there's only one villain. And the villain ain't changed his costume. It's been the same costume, same tricks over and over again. And I've actually spoken positive about Blue. And I've actually said, when everybody else has said he needs to stay the hell away from the baby, I've said, I hope he gets his shit together and becomes a better father for all of his children. Because children need both parents, not just one. They need both parents, be it a boy or a girl. You need both parents. There's a reason it takes two people to make a baby, because you need two people to raise it. Because there's things that a father instills into a child that a mother can't, and vice versa. And the truth be told, I also understand there's nothing that anybody could say or do when it comes down to her and her child, and if she's choosing to let him be a part of the child's life or not. But right now, she is protecting her child from him, because each time that she has allowed him to be in the child's life, be around her, giving him what he wanted and submitted to his will. Like, come on now, we just heard the text messages. It's very obvious that that's what he wants, is for her to come back. He wants her back there so he can have access to her whenever he wants to, and go over there and go see the baby, and then be up underneath her. The same way that he goes over to Jaden's house, hangs out with the kids, and smashes. Did I miss anything? And then you have these people that are holier than thou, that are now starting to become Bible thumpers, picking and choosing what it is that they want to use against her in scripture, or they want to condemn and they want to chastise and correct. Go chastise and correct yourself. Because your fake advocacy, your fake religious walk, your fake preaching and all of that you do, we don't care to hear it, because you can't show yourself approved. Exactly, Boots. All the blame is on the youngest. That's right. Carlissa says she put him to send the text messages so he can get the baby. She said Chrisean is mad because Blue didn't want her. Is that what the text messages said? Is that what the text messages said? If you can't come around me to make me happy, huh? I'm glad I did that video last night about the text messages. Because now she told Blue to text her about getting the baby. She opened her mouth and run her jibs about everything. She get up here, she another one, use Bible scripture. She talk about everything but that. This last time when he pulled this stunt and Blue said, I'm going to give you what you want, all she said was, that's not what they wanted. She didn't go live and say, now, son, you can't keep doing this. You can be mad at her, but don't be mad at the baby. She ain't come on here and address it not one damn time now, did she? But she quick to jump in grown man stuff. Blueface arguing back and forth with Aiden Ross yesterday, whacking Blue going at Aiden, she jump in. But you ain't gonna jump in when he talking about the baby, right? What I need everybody to do is actually get them a Bible. Everybody get them a Bible and start reading. I read mine. It's marked in 2 places. I read mine. You want to know where it's marked at? Let me tell you where it's marked at. It's probably marked in Psalm somewhere. And yesterday I read a real good proverb too. Got me. Oh, the book of Job. And where's the other bookmark at? Oh, 1 Samuel. I'm reading about David and I have it marked off because after I finish reading about David is to go read about Job. And then what I occasionally will do is open up my Bible, just open it. Just open it. And where my eyes land, I read. Because that tells me that that's what I'm supposed to read. And then I'll start reading. It's always a psalm or a proverb. So don't come talking to me about nothing if that ain't what you do. If you ain't studying to show yourself approved, don't even come for me. Because this ain't even a portion of how I give it up. I'm a little nervous over here because I don't talk like this on my YouTube. I usually talk like this on Instagram. I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes if there's anything y'all want to add. What you said, daughter of Yah said 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto God, and workmen that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, completely interpreting. You can't correctly interpreting. You can't interpret because you ain't reading. You ain't got no power or no deed. You ain't got no connection, no relationship. You ain't got none of that. I do what I do. But I tell you what, if I were to cut up and let loose and let this really go the way that I usually let it go on Instagram, oh, trust me, you'll understand. Because when people start to realize that what you're actually looking at, like I've said on Instagram multiple times, and like many of us have already realized, this is spiritual warfare. This is not about what we see with our eyes. This is not about flesh. This is about spirit. This is about demonic attacks. This is about righteous walking. This is about falling down, getting up. This is about making amends with your past. There's so many examples from this that is being used. The whole circus is being divinely used if you open yourself up spiritually to look at it in a different light. If y'all notice, my dragon ain't even dragging like it used to be because I'm trying to walk away from it. As far as being judgmental, because in order for me to drag somebody, I have to judge them. And I'm not perfect by far. I've made my mistakes. I've had my flaws. I have a very wicked past. And hopefully, before the end of this year, you guys will be getting something that gives you a peek behind the veil of some of my life. But this is spiritual warfare. Seems like damn near every other ninja done apologized to her in regards to her and her child, but the damn baby daddy. Damn shame. And he won't. And that's the sad part. His apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect. Did you see what she said about Bino? Bino's apology was as loud as his disrespect, but she was like, I didn't know what to do. What was I supposed to do? NLE Chopper made his apology as loud as his disrespect. Now, it may not have gone as viral as it should have. I don't recall Tasha K posting the apology. And then they posted the colon cleanse that she got with the, oh, she don't listen to doctors for a child, but she listens to the doctors for herself. Um, did y'all not catch that that was promotion? Mm, missed that part. At the end of the day, the truth will be revealed. And all of these fake Bible thumping, half ass advocates, they're going to be exposed. And if at the end of the day, you already have NLE Chopper apologizing, you've got Bino apologizing. Didn't Ryan Garcia apologize to her too? I can't even remember if he apologized or not. But you've got people apologizing to her. And you see what's happened. Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You see what has happened, right? To people who have come against. And I'm not speaking it over nobody. I'm just saying as an observation. Y'all years don't seem to be going too well. I'm going to tell you like this. People would want to apologize that should apologize, that need to apologize before she get to telling God on you. Because once she tell God on you, and people keep saying that's not how God works. Did you not read the Old Testament? Where did God change from the Old Testament to the New? Do you not know who the Most High God is according to the Bible? Did you miss God smiting and doing all? You missed that part. He's a forgiving God, but have you ever read about his wrath? Do you know that there is a portion in Proverbs where the Lord, the Most High God, says, I will laugh at you when you face calamity because you chose not to adhere to my wisdom and my advice. I'm paraphrasing. But the Lord said that he will laugh at you when you going through your situations. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I know, I know, I know, I know. Let's see if I can find it real quick. That's the Psalms and the Proverbs. Okay. But since you okay, you want to know where it is? It's in the first proverb. First Proverbs. Go to chapter 24. But since you refuse to listen when I call, and no one pays attention when I stretch my hands, since you disregard my advice and do not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh. Excuse me, I said calamity. I in turn will laugh when disaster strikes you. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm. When disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind. When distress and trouble overwhelm you. It's right here. It's right here. Can you see it? Can you see it for yourself? I'm trying to see. Can you see it? You want me to put it on the screen for you? So you did you read your Bible? Do you understand? I don't think you do. He said, I will laugh at you when disaster comes. I will turn and laugh at you. Oh, yeah, he a good guy, but Lord, forgive me if this is blaspheme or if this is, he petty. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Henny. I
What's
just have
going
to say,
on?
woo, girl, you teaching today. I love it. Um, as a woman of my age, I'm 57. And
Congratulations, because a lot of people
thank
don't make it there.
you, man, you ain't never lied because it's a blessing I'm still here. But what gets me is when, like you said, people want to judge her walk. And I look at some of these people, some of the things they be saying, I said, if only I could be a fly on your wall to see what's going on in your house.
That part.
What are your kids doing? What is your man doing? A lot of them are doing nothing but projecting. And
Mm-hmm.
see, what they don't understand about God is God has mercy and he has grace. His mercy is over the things that we have done in our life that we can't forgive ourselves for. His grace is to keep us going so we can get that strength to keep looking beyond the hills to where our strength comes from. Because Chrisean is doing just that. But being a Christian does not mean perfect.
That part.
Perfect comes only from God himself. But we are to strive to be perfect. There's a difference. Striving to be perfect does not make us perfect. I'm a bishop's daughter. So, yes, the word has been instilled and drilled in me. I tell my kids the same thing. I'm not asking for perfection, but I'm asking you not to do bad things willingly. To do things by accident is one thing. I said, but I get up every morning and I say to God, Lord, forgive me for the things I've done that I know of and that I don't know of.
Yep.
Chrisean is trying her hardest. But for there to be this hate train, it only shows where our world is today.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a
Oh,
very tumultuous times. And I feel bad for all the ones that sitting out here, these content creators putting out fake narratives on a child. Don't they know what God will do to you about a child? He said it's best that you have a millstone around your neck And that means a big old stone. So when you get thrown into the sea of unforgiveness, man, that's a hell of a place to be because it's hell. And you
Yep,
can be in hell on earth. So for all these people that are sitting out here that's judging this girl thinking that they got a pedestal to sit on, trust me, he looks high. He sits high and he looks low.
that part.
And and I feel bad for oh my God, I just feel bad because for the simple fact, if only I could be as strong as she is, and you're hearing it from me. I'm telling you, if I could be as strong as Chrisean, because I'm telling you, I will slip real quick and you'll get a tongue lashing, and then I got to go to my prayer closet. Lord, forgive me. Ooh, I know what I said was wrong because I know my tongue is a weapon.
That part. But see, the
So I
thing is,
try. Mm-hmm.
they don't understand that part. And because they don't know the word, because they don't understand, that's why they don't know what she's talking about. They're looking at it from a fleshly, worldly standpoint and don't even understand anything that she said.
No,
But they want to
no,
put
I
their own
understood her.
narrative and spin on it. And eyeshadow queen, girl, you don't want to come up here. You don't want to come up here. I'll let you up, but I'm telling you now, you don't want to come up here.
Because myself right now, just a quick testimony. And I understood Chrisean when she said it because I knew because I was Chrisean when I was sitting in that doctor's office and they told me I had stage 4 cancer. That was 12 years ago. I sat there and I looked at that doctor. I had tears in my eyes and I said, no, no, I don't accept that. He looked at me and then he said, but it's right here. I said, no, that's a picture. But my God says, I am healed by his stripes. I said, I'm not going into this defeated. I will not claim that. I said, now I'll do what I have to do to get better, but I don't claim that I only have 6 months to live. That was 12 years ago.
That part.
So, and when they said my son was going to die of seizures, I didn't accept that. I took him to the doctor. Yes, I did. And as a nurse, I looked at some of the medication. I said, honey. I said, you know really what you really need? He said, what, mom? I said, you need to de-stressify. I said, get rid of your stressors. And at that time, it was a young lady. I said, now I can't make you, but I'm telling you. He said, I'm going to send her back home. Do you know, after he realized, he said, mom, you was right. Because when she left, the seizures stopped.
But you see what you said you did not receive what the doctor said for you or your child, but you
No,
still did what you were supposed to do because that's the works part of the faith. She said
exactly.
that she was doing, I need to play that clip again. She said, we wake up every morning, I wash his face, I brush his teeth, we listen to the word, we put the word on. And she said, I do the exercises with him that I learned from the physical therapist that
Mm-hmm.
I use.
Yes.
Now, I interpreted that I use, the physical therapist that I use, to mean that there's a physical therapist there and
Right.
she's doing the exercises and she's doing what she's learned from a physical therapist. So even if there wasn't a physical therapist there now, there was a physical therapist at some point to give her something. But the point of the matter that I'm trying to make is she's still doing the physical therapy with him that she was told to do. You don't have
Exactly.
to receive what is said. You could say, I don't receive that, but you still
No.
do what you got to do because you've got to open a door, a window, or something for a blessing to be able to come in. I can't work with nothing.
Come on now. He
You
can't.
got to give him something. You got to meet him halfway. That's basically what it is. You got to meet him halfway or even a quarter of the way. Shoot, meet him 5 inches of the way.
Come on.
So you
Really?
got a part that you got to do. And so for people to sit back and act like this girl is doing absolutely nothing, come on, y'all sit up here and say the baby can't sit up. He sits just fine. Y'all say he
Sure
can't
do.
hold his head. He holds his head. Y'all say he
Sure
can't
do.
see. He sees because he had to see her lips in order to kiss him. He can't hear, but he had to hear her voice in order to hear her say, "Give me a kiss." He like y'all don't. Y'all just don't. And then y'all want to talk about how he holds his hands and all of that. Why? I have a daughter, Apple Juice. I could show you her baby picture. She held her hands and fists up here. The whole time
Uh-huh.
that she was little, she held her hands like fists on her chest. But she could move her hands and use her hands, and that girl uses her hands just well, and she didn't need physical therapy. Apple Juice did not like to talk to people.
Come on
So much
now.
so that when she was in preschool, they were talking about putting her in speech therapy because she doesn't talk. I said, no, she's selectively social. She just
Right.
ain't talk to
Ah, come
y'all
on.
because she don't trust y'all yet. Because every
That's
day I
it.
pick her up from school, she get in the car, she talking nonstop, telling me about her day.
Come
She's
on
talking
now.
around the house and all of that, but she get to school and she don't talk because she discerned spirits when she was younger. She don't like you. She don't like you. She got to feel you out first. And then one day I went to go pick her up and they said, "Oh my God, you were right. She can talk." I do know my child
Of
because
course.
they said she finally started talking and she hasn't stopped all day. I said, "I told y'all that she could talk. Like y'all trying to
She was
press me
comfortable.
to get her into." She just started going here. She don't know y'all.
Right. It's simple.
So
Speaking on that real quick, Henny, you just made something and it just came back into my remembrance. When Chrisean was at Blue's house when he first got out of jail, do you remember how uncomfortable his own son looked being in his arms?
yeah.
I looked, I said, that baby ain't comfortable with his own father. Probably
He
because,
don't
like you
know
said,
him. He
he
doesn't
doesn't.
know him at all. They had no relationship. The whole time that
None.
she was pregnant, he raised hell around her. Then when they got together, he was in prison. So he doesn't know the baby and the baby don't know him. And that's why it's so easy for him to do the things that he does because he never bonded with the baby.
Right. Right. It's sad. It's sad. Because right now, Krishan, all she has is her son, and all he has is her. Now, she has a great fortress around her, and I'm so happy that she does now. And I'm glad, like somebody was sitting there saying, how are they condoning that? I don't see Coach Calvin and them condoning her doing wrong by that boy.
Mm-mm.
I don't see that because I can tell by the way that man looks at her like a daughter.
Yeah,
So if
you
that's
can
my
see it.
daughter, why wouldn't I look at making sure my grandchild is okay? These are where people are so jaded because they don't want to see the truth. So it's easier to form a lie, to stick to this lie, to believe this lie because it's what I formulated in my head. And for some of these people, that's what gets me paid. Well, that money don't last forever. And I'd hate to see what really comes down the line for a lot of these people. But Henny, you keep doing what you're doing because I love you for the simple fact I can come to you for the truth and you're going to tell the truth, whether it's popular or not. And that's
Amen.
what I love about you. Continue doing what you're doing. Continue telling the truth. Continue, because the more it keeps coming out like that, the more people are actually coming over to the other side. A lot of people, when he denied that baby, they start saying, wait a minute, now hold on. You were just saying that's your son. Because if that's not your son, why would you introduce him to your other kids as their brother? That makes no sense to me. Unless you're really accepting him as your child because you know it's your child. And
That part.
when you put up that video of on Zeus, when they did the blood, I was like, there you go, Henny. There you go. Put the receipt out because everything that Carlissa said was debunked. It was debunked because for the simple fact, this woman just lies to be lying. And Lord, I know I can't fathom your wisdom, but why that woman was able to have children, I'll never understand. Because she's one of the people I think that should never have had children because she does a great disservice to them because you're not even a best friend to your kids. You are their worst enemy.
This is true.
And that's the saddest part. But you know what, Henny, I'm going to let you continue with this because I'm loving listening to you. I got to get ready for work, but keep speaking the truth because honestly, I love you for it. And I'm happy that you're out here doing that. Thank you, Henny.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming up, Tony.
No problem.
I don't know. Ooh, get out of my face, y'all. I don't know if anybody else want to come up here, but let me just say this to Eyeshadow Queen, who's probably watching from the shadows. I said you don't want to come up here because at the end of the day, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you and your ideologies, and then I'm going to challenge your faith. And I don't think you want to do that. And that goes for anybody that decides they want to come up here and they want to oppose anything that's being spoken about. Because, see, that's y'all problem. Y'all can't stand positivity. Y'all can't stand people supporting. Y'all have been turned and y'all don't even have the truth. Y'all don't. Y'all fell for a screenshot of something that was allegedly a medical record. Eyeshadow was in the clink, but guess what? She could still see this link. She's still in here if she's still here. Because all it really does is hide them from the channel so they can't bother us no more with their comments. But I haven't banned her from the StreamYard. So if she's bold, come on up here so I can ask you a couple, 2, 3 questions. Because you talk with so much certainty. Because if you over there on hello from the other side, you talking to yourself. That's why ain't nobody responding to you, because you're talking to yourself. That's why I ain't acknowledged you, because you're talking to yourself. But I done dropped this link a couple of times in case you did decide to be so bold and come up here when you see what this is. See, my thing is, I challenge all of these people who have so much negativity to say. I challenge you to show your faith, show your walk, show yourself approved. Then show me your heaven and your hell that you have to put somebody in. And I know judging somebody, it comes so easy. It's so easy to judge other people because it's so easy. And this is something that's in the Bible, but I'm going to use it in a sentence. It's easy to see the dust in somebody else's eye and ignore the plank in your own. They must be gone. Eyeshadow must be gone. But you came up in here and decided to be disruptive to what was going on because it's not what you're accustomed to. And again, my thing is, you don't have to agree with anything that I'm saying, but you're not going to come up in here and convince anybody to change their mind on anything. Because, see, that's what the motive is. The motive is to turn as many people against her as possible. But the sad part about it is, the more y'all try, the more y'all fail.
Hi, honey.
Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to say when Chrisean was in that basically that I don't know if it was I don't know what the podcast he would say. I agree with her 100% on what she said about her son. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people mistake that okay, praying. Some people try to say, "Oh, without faith, you know, the
Faith
works are
without
dead."
works.
But
Mm-hmm.
people fail to realize praying is a work, okay? I don't know where people think that there's other things that you have to do. Sometimes that's not the case. One belief in God can actually change things. And it doesn't mean it changed things right in your time. Everything works on God's time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the devil likes to use her past because it's like he's building like a warfare, a campaign warfare amongst so many people to think that this woman is like demonic, and she's not demonic, but she is a sinner and we're all sinners. And I think that these people that are like on here, they fail to realize that they're just as in sin just as when she does wrong in her life. But it doesn't justify that what you're using in her past is a justification to what's now, what's being presented, because she's not that person no more. You know what I'm saying? And that was her early stages of life. I think that people don't realize that her childhood has everything to do with what goes on future wise. You know what I'm saying? And everybody
Mhm.
may not be affected that way. For me, I know that I believe in God. I walk with Him. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And I know walking with the Holy Spirit, it's a sanctification process. It doesn't mean that you're going to see me holy every day. It does not mean that, because people have to realize the spiritual warfare is really real, okay? And
Mhm.
these demons are not coming to play with you. They're coming to attack whenever they could find a loophole to get into and attack your mind, okay? And a lot of people are operating off of trying to siphon her energy. You know, this is a siphoning energy, because to me, I believe she has a powerful anointing in God. You know, I just think that she needs to learn not to cast her pearls before swine. And I think that us as people that support her, we need to pray that she grows in that strong wisdom in that. You know, because see, as we are her supporters, we're also a strong campaign in God's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
um, I feel like people don't get distracted by what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the devil hates God's chosen people, okay? And
Mhm.
and people have to realize David in the Bible, he committed adultery and he killed Bathsheba's husband. But God said that that's a man after his own heart. You know what I'm saying? But we have people that are like, she's so disgusting, she's this, but like David, I mean, God, sanctified his name in a separate light. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, people need to like really understand spiritual, because see, they're understanding her past, but they don't understand the spiritual foundation of God and the operation of the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light.
Amen. You're absolutely right. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming up. I appreciate you.
Of course. You're welcome.
All right, you guys. Y'all are coming up here. Y'all got some very powerful words. And yes, that is true. David was not upright and he was not perfect and he was not without sin, but he is considered to be a man that was after God's heart. You know why? Because David repented for his sins and he meant it. Hey, Miss Keep It 100.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hi. How are y'all doing? I just wanted to, if it's okay, I was going to speak about Chrisean's mental health and
Okay.
how strong she's moving, and like the Book of Ephesians talks about putting on the armor of the Most
Mm-hmm.
High, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
she's doing by staying in her word and staying focused and being healthy and eating correctly. Um, and I hope she learns and understands that when you choose the Most High and when you start walking in the right direction, you get attacked. Like the devil will send you everything that's ever tempted you. It's like going to the top of the mountain and him promising you the world, the mountains, nothing that actually belongs to him. So as
Exactly.
she's walking through this, he's going to tempt her. And the sad part is her temptation is her baby daddy. So
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I think that the biggest thing she's going to have to overcome is, like, if you look at her life, everything that she fears, it keeps being thrown at her. Like every tragedy she tried to run from, it keeps being thrown in her face. She has to overcome every strong battle that she actually tried to run from, including her sister. So that's why she's being protected by walking in the body of armor right now. But if she allows these little temptations to come into her life and affect her, like Blue, like he's trying to heavily do, because it's like a narcissist, it's like gaslighting. He's trying to bring her back so he can do the ultimate TKO, like the ultimate embarrassing act on her. And he's clouding it out with like, "Oh, I love you," like he's covering it with like, "I love you and I really want our family," because he knows these are things she wants. Like she can see a happy future, them running off together. But you have to understand a true spiritual demonic attack. Like people that are empaths and are walking in the light, and we know who we are. We have to
Right.
understand the true darkness in the corner waiting on us, and
Amen.
that person is him. So I'm glad she did expose her text messages and things. But and I know she knows she's like, I really think she knows she's an empath because she's throwing fillers out there to fill him out. She's reading his energy to see if he's changed, if he's even thinking about changing,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not. And I think she can see it. So I'm hoping she realizes the spiritual attack that the part he plays in it, and I hope she
Mm-hmm.
continues to move forward.
Absolutely.
If
Well,
that
thank
makes
you for
sense.
coming. It makes perfect sense. But thank you for coming up, Miss Keep It 100. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Can you kick me out? I don't know how to leave.
I got you. All right.
Thank
So,
you.
Olivia asked, why do you think Jaden and Son is saying they being hit with witchcraft after the prophecy came months ago that Chrisean was being attacked? Because everyone thought that they were above that. But you see how she got that message and she's already walking. She's already talking. She's already being consistent on her path. Like, we know what's going on in this circus, girl. And we know who doing what and all of that. Um, but they better start getting their prayers. They better get their prayer life right. Hey, Callie Nola.
Hey, Henny.
How are you?
I actually just recently found your channel because I was actually watching some other content creators, and
Mm-hmm.
so when Krishan came back in the news again, they started talking about her again. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I started literally see people make up things that were completely either never happened. They were taking clips out of context. They would have a clip playing, but be describing something different that wasn't even happening. And I
Yes.
said, "Oh my God, there is something weird going on here."
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to start doing my own research.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I found your channel and a couple of other channels that people that had like receipts, because I was like, am I going crazy? Because I don't remember this happening this way. Because
Nope,
I
you're
was
not.
following her a while ago and I'm like, that's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So as I have started to follow you in a couple of other channels, I see these people in the comments. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, the reason why this is sometimes bothers me, and I'm not trying to put net negative out there, but we
Mm-hmm.
saw what happened with Britney Spears,
Yes.
where a sense that even though, yes, she is an adult, legally she was not. And she was taken away from the care of her father due to these people online. And you
Mm-hmm.
see where she is now. And again, I'm not trying to put anything negative out there, but I don't want this to happen to little Krishan.
Well, I don't think that that's going to happen because here's the thing, right? First of all, I want to commend you. I don't want to skip over this part. I want to commend you because that's something that these people that's here, that been here, oh, that's what we do. They know I'm going to bring the receipts, but I always tell everybody, do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. If you don't know, do your own research and figure out for yourself. So I commend you for doing your own research. Number two, I want to say shout out to your spirit woman because you have discernment. As where a lot of other people seem to not have that same discernment to be like, well, that doesn't even make sense. That's not what happened. Well, how was that possible when this would have been possible? You know what I'm saying? So you're the type of person that we love over here because you're going to critically think. I don't want people to just take my word for it. If you've seen it, if you see it, then you see it. If you don't, then you don't. But as long as you are over here and you're critically thinking on things, then we're in a good space. I'm here for those people who can't be led astray, so to speak, with false narratives. Do I always get everything right? Sometimes I might be off, and I don't have a problem with coming back and correcting myself if I got something wrong. But the way that they will spin something and people will see that it doesn't align or they know that that's not how that happened, but they still go along with it, it's mind-boggling to me.
I think they want the views. And I also, this is what I'm starting to deduce. Someone I strongly believe has hired a troll farm. And I think what happens is the troll farm starts the snowball. And
Mm-hmm.
when people see the negative comments, they start to add to it, and it just keeps building and building and building. So while you have the troll farm, which I'm not even 100% sure how they work, I don't know
It's
if they're
bots.
just bots or if they're bots
They're
mixed with
bots.
real people.
There's some real people in there, but it's majority bots. Those are bots that come in and get the narrative
Mm-hmm.
going. They start repeating certain things, and you see them in every chat saying the same thing over and over. There's bots. And what also is going on is a lot of payola. There's people that are on payroll to push certain narratives. It's very obvious and it's very clear because you'll see it. Everybody starts saying the same thing, and a majority of it is the big blogs. There's somebody in those
Mm-hmm.
big blogs that's posting for those big blogs that is getting something on the side for every time they post something negative. And once one blog does it, it goes all the way through unless it's the same person throughout the blogs. So that's how it goes. And then you've got the other pages that are going to push it over here on Instagram, and the pages that are going to push it over there on TikTok and push it on Instagram. There's a lot of a trickle down effect that is going on with all of this. So you're absolutely right. The other thing that I wanted to say is they have already tried getting this baby taken away from her. They've been calling CPS on her for years, and the baby has not been taken. So at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening is y'all are going to call and they're going to look at it as crying wolf, and that's it. They're not taking these calls seriously. They've gone out to the house. They've gone to where she is. They want to say she's on the run. How could she be on the run when she was on probation when she left Oklahoma, and they were saying she was on the run? They could have easily got her. She was on interstate compact in Baltimore. All they had to do was go to her probation officer, which is not hard to figure out who it was, and call her in.
Well, also, she works out at a specific gym with Coach Calvin like every day. Like, she's not a person that doesn't have a schedule or a place where she always is, where she can't be found.
But
That
the
was one
thing
of the
is,
things that was
see,
a red flag to me. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
but if CPS has gone out and the child still remains in her care, what is that telling you?
Yeah,
Clearly,
there's
what you're
nothing happening.
saying is not happening.
Yeah.
Either you're not calling or you're calling and nothing is happening because what you're saying online is not happening, because there is no way. Let's be real. Okay, there is no way that you are calling CPS and you are telling CPS that this, and this is going on with this child. And CPS goes into the situation. They look at the child, they look at the situation, and they see that, oh, this is all going on, and we're just going to leave the child there. That's like when the CPS people came to the hotel and all of that. They was trying to say that Chrisean was in there doing whippets. Well, I posted a video showing Chrisean was nowhere around because she wasn't even in Vegas with Bino. She was across town, across the country. She was nowhere
Well,
around there. So it's like the lies drive me crazy, because if it's to find flaws in people, there's plenty that we could find in people that we don't have to make stuff up.
I agree. I mean, CPS just took one of Dwight Howard's children. This is Dwight Howard. So to say that, I just, this is just really, it's irrational thinking. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that what's happening, it's these bots, and people are believing the bots, and they're taking what the bots are planting in their subconscious, and they're running with it, and then they're getting views. And so they just start to make it more and more sensationalized.
Well,
This
let me
is
say
really
this.
disturbing.
As a content creator, if I was to get up here and I was to start spewing hate narratives about Chrisean, my page would blow up.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be getting multiple views. People would come over here because I would now be spewing venom against her. I will have turned against her. So now all of those people are going to come over here
I
because
personally
it's
suspect.
lucrative and profitable to be negative towards her. So that's why you see
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of people that were once pro her have turned against her, and because they have to appease their audience. I'm not a person that does this. And I know it sounds crazy because this is my job. I do this for a living, but I'm not a person that's doing this because I want everyone to like me. No, I would rather have people who are around that are critical thinkers on any topic, not just Chrisean. It's just that she seems to be the most controversial. And I've become kind of, I guess you could say, like a staple over in the sector. But I talk about a lot of things on my other channel. I go through court docs and all of that stuff. And I want people to actually hear the court docs and critically think for themselves. Like, I'm here to also entertain, I'm here to do all of that. But I'm not here to ever hurt somebody, slander somebody in order to get to a bag, because as the saying goes, all money ain't good money. And I know I got a past and I'm not better or above anyone else. So how am I ever going to get on here and feel like I'm better than and hurt somebody? See, that's the thing. I actually got to experience what the power of the content can do. And that
Yeah,
bothered me.
this whole narrative that her child is not receiving medical care, from what I'm able to deduce, has come from social media. I've
Mm-hmm.
tried to research and see if maybe she said at some point she doesn't believe in the treatment, or she doesn't want to take him, or I can't find anything like that. It literally seems like this is something that has come from social media and people are running with it. I watched that entire interview. There was nothing that she said that would lead me to believe that she would refuse her child treatment. I've heard so many people with special needs children say they don't like the word disabled. I've heard people that have special needs say, I did better because my mother did not label me as disabled. This is
Right.
a normal thing. And that post that the Neighborhood Talk did, I think they were paid to do that.
It
And
went
I'm
up
gonna
too
tell
quick.
you why I feel that way, not to cut you off. But
No,
I'm gonna
no.
tell you why. Because previously, when Blueface pulled his stunt, they posted the DNA test.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed to get the Neighborhood Talk back going against her. So I think somebody went over there to that guy that owns Neighborhood Talk. I don't know if he still does. He used to live right here in LA. I used to know people that would see him all the time. Somebody went over there and wrote a check, and they took that little clip and put that words above it, because I'm like, wait a minute, I watched this whole interview. What did you guys hear? That's not what I heard. Where are
What
you
they
getting this from?
what they did was took two separate clips and spliced them together.
Yeah. See, I found that out from you, because I was so confused, because I watched the interview. I didn't even see the post on the Neighborhood Talk until I saw people responding to it. And I saw another content creator. She doesn't even normally talk about Chrisean. And she even said, like, this is wrong. I have a special needs child. This is not right what these people have done. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, well, what is going on? And that's when I found out what they had done with that clip. There is nothing in that interview where she said anything about denying anyone health care. It was about the label. It was about the
The
word. And a
labels,
lot of people
exactly.
don't like that word.
And that's where they ran wild with it, because she said you don't have to receive anyone speaking anything negative over your child. You don't have to receive anyone speaking negativity over your life, period. It doesn't matter who it is. And that's what I grasped from it, because it wasn't just about the doctors. And then she said, guessing whether they're a doctor, whether they're guessing. The
Mm-hmm.
guessing is for those people on the internet that keep assuming that they know. And it's become like a Where's Waldo effect, right? Where everybody wants to be the one that has the right information so that they could be like, see, I told you. I told you
Well,
that I told y'all what it was. Y'all didn't believe me, but I told.
but
That's
but
to me what
Henny,
this is. It's about ego boosting.
why wasn't the reaction given to Blueface when he sat there on an interview a couple of months ago and literally said there's nothing wrong with him?
Because nobody ever drags him. Do you know how many times I have drugged
Yeah,
Blueface?
they're enabling him to ruin his life. That's what
They're
they're doing.
enabling him for a lot of things.
No, he's going to end up, and this is not me wishing something. This is me knowing how the world works and seeing how he's living. He is going to end up with some serious time or not here anymore. This is he's going on a very, very dark path. And people just clapping it on instead of telling him, like, man, maybe you should get some therapy. Maybe, you might be going through something. No, oh no, he's right. Everything he does is right. I'm like, something's wrong with this man.
And wait a minute, but then they say, and he never lies. But according to him, he just sat up here and lied to everybody because he
Yeah,
said he was
for
lying
2 years.
about the baby being his.
Yes.
So then that means that he would have lied.
Yeah, and no one is asking him, why did you lie? Why did you do this? No one's even questioning. This is how I know that these are troll forums. Someone's controlling this narrative. And I suspect that it is whack. Because
Yes.
because I've known him with another celebrity, and I'm not going to bring up this person's name, to conspire to create an AI video, and he was kind of like cut off at the knees of doing that.
Mm.
This is the way that he moves as a person. And I agree with everything. What's the guy that fought Blueface said about Whack? He is a poison to the black community. He is a
Cheaper.
disgusting person.
Yeah.
I think that he is petty enough to hire a troll form. And I've tried to interact with these people. I tried to say, look, I'm not trying to be combative. I'm just trying to get information. I just want to know the backstory. I'm not familiar with her. They never reply because these aren't people.
And
They
you
won't even
are
cuss
on
me
it.
out. Nothing.
And you're on it. Like, I don't know where you came from. I don't know how long you've been away, but welcome back because this is where we are right now. And that's why I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I felt very defeated doing what I do because it is a lot when you go out here and you know that you've debunked something, but yet you see it still gaining traction and nobody's been. Listen, it really is discouraging and disheartening to get up here and do the debunking that I do. Do you know how many hours it takes me to do a debunk video? Because I've got to find the clips, then I got to align everything up. It takes a lot of digging, and I get people to help me to dig and find stuff. But that's not the point. The point is I put a lot of time and effort and energy into those things, and then I'll debunk it, and the narrative keeps rolling.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Like, what is the point? I got tired of it. I got frustrated because this is the internet. And here's one thing that I have learned. You cannot defeat the internet. And that's what I was trying to do. So instead, I stay in my little corner. I do my little thing. And whatever I am led to do, I do. Like, I had no intention of coming live today, of doing this. I don't even know why I made this video. I don't know what the whole purpose of it was or the point, but something said, listen, go on live. This is what the topic is. Put this on the thumbnail and just talk.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of, it just really bothers me because there's a kid that is involved, and I know that he won't always be 2 years old. And
Mm-hmm.
this is just setting him up for people to bully him, or I mean, hopefully the worst doesn't happen and some fool doesn't try to take him away from his mother. I mean, it's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys really believe this stuff? And then there have been several people, even people that don't even like her, that have told you there's nothing wrong with this child's speech. There have been several mothers of kids that have special needs that say, hey, I went through this with my son. He's in college now. He's perfectly fine. It's just, and they're very like offended by this stuff, by the way.
There
Um,
are a lot of
yeah.
people are offended by it. They are.
And as far as, and people keep saying the whole she was drinking, and I feel like a lot of that has come from Whack, but he's contradicted himself. And not only that, as far as people saying she never took accountability, that's not true. I personally have seen her say in the beginning, I did this and that because I didn't know if I was going to keep pregnancy. So I don't really even know what
Listen,
you guys are talking about. This all of this, some of this stuff is completely irrational. And I have seen some crazy things on the internet. I'm going to be honest, I've never seen anything quite like this. And then of the flip side of this is that people don't really seem to understand, and maybe I can see it because I'm almost, I am old enough to be Chrisean mama. I'm
Mhm,
almost old enough to be Blueface mama. That I
mhm.
can see that you guys are enabling this man that you claim to be fans of to ruin his life. The
Yeah,
men that move the way that he moves get locked up,
all
or
the
they
time.
end up getting into something with some substances and they're not here anymore. You got to look at, I mean, even Tupac got locked up fooling around with these women like this.
Mhm.
This is not, you can't do this. And you saw what just happened with his dad. Like, this is not, if you guys think that you're a fan of his, you should be encouraging him to do something more positive with his life, because everything around him feels so dark and negative.
It
Even
has
when
for
he's with those kids, it doesn't look real.
it's been dark and negative around him for a very long time. Very long time. It's been this
Yeah. And
because
he was a person that he got as far as he got in life because of the way he used to look before he
right.
did all of this to himself. That was it. He was not a great talent. He's not a great businessman. He was a tall, good looking guy. And that got him very far. And that's the one thing that he decided to destroy instead of leaning into that. This is a person that's destroying themselves. And I
Mhm.
feel like people are enabling that because they think that they're somehow hurting Krishan. And I don't know where they're getting that logic from. So it's like, go on, Blueface, go out there with all these women that are gonna get you locked up and give you a disease and ruin your life. Go ahead, get it. It's like, this is insane. Nobody should be encouraging this. And I have a heart for everybody. I don't see nobody ruin their life. But this is not cool at all.
Mm. This person said, one creator said that since she started exposing Blue, things started to happen to her page and to herself, and she suspects it's Carlissa. Let me explain something to y'all. If you go over there to official That Girl Henny, and you think back to when I first started, before I even started jumping on Whack, my page was thriving. Then all of a sudden, I jumped on Whack, and my page started blowing up a bit, and then it started stalling. But the
Yeah,
crazy
I
part
think it's
about it is
whack.
I will only be allowed to go but so far on that page. The crazy thing is this page has had videos hit 20K, 15K, 10K. This page has. But that page over there where I talk about Whack, not so much. Not
No,
so
it's
much.
him. I don't even think Carlissa got the pockets or the connections with these troll farm people because they're usually in Russia. I think it's him. He's
But
a underworld person.
Wack has already said that he knows people at YouTube, he knows people at Instagram, he knows
Hmm.
people on these platforms. And while a lot of people don't want to believe that a switch can be hit on your channel, a switch can be hit on your channel, and that channel will never go past a certain thing until they decide that it can. Now, I am trying to turn that page around because, truth be told, that page should be further along than what it was with all of the court docs and all of the receipts that I have brought out. It should be further along than what it is. My only alternative would be to, I don't know, start something without my face on it and just do it and not even have anything. Nobody would know who I am, where the page came from, whatever. We have those pages that pop up all the time.
Yeah, I want you to be successful because you are an honest person. And there are some people that I watched their content for years and I found out they were doing this stuff and I said, this is not cool. And they try to justify it by saying, oh, she did this when she was pregnant. I'm like, even if she had done those things, that doesn't then mean that you can create a false narrative and try to get her kid put in foster care 2 years later. Do you hear yourself?
Right, right. And you're talking about 2 years ago. Who she was 2 years ago is not who she is now. But again, the devil will always bring your past up. Always.
Yeah, but there's
That's all
no
he do.
And don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not telling people to drag Krishan's mother or disrespect her in any way. That's not what I'm saying. But what the weirdest thing is to me in this whole thing is that Krishan's parents are never held accountable for anything.
Well,
Nothing.
that's not
Like
true
people
because
want to
we talked.
even give her some new parents. They want to try to act like, oh, her parents didn't even raise her. She grew up with these rich people and this attorney, and because they don't want to face the fact that we're dealing with a person who didn't have stable parents. And she, for me, has come a long way from coming from that type of parenting. But no, that it's just everything is just put on her.
Hold on one second. Hey, Crystal, how are you?
I'm steadily talking to you. My mic was on. I mean, my mic was muted. But anyways, um, first off, excuse me. First off, honey, do you pray before you get on this internet?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm being honest.
Because, baby, I know your mental health has got to be going crazy during this thing. I had to take a couple days, not even a couple days. I probably took about a week away from all this, started reading my Bible, started doing all this stuff. One thing about Chrisean has brought me because I seen how the Lord works in her favor.
Hmm.
So she made me get into the Bible and church a little harder. So I got to give her credit where credit's due. You know what I mean? But as far as Scribble Face, when I tell you I have to agree with the young lady, it's on thing. Something drastic is going to happen to Blue. And I don't want to put it out there, but in a sense I do, because he has to sit down and realize what he's doing. I don't understand how he can sit there with a clear conscience and do what he's doing to his own child. It just, I mean, I understand he don't have no connection with him, and that's his fault. Because while she was pregnant, she should have, he should have, like, talked to her stomach. You know how they say, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But he did nothing but terrorize that girl while she was pregnant.
He did.
And
He did.
it's sickening. And he still keeps doing it. Why? Because she chose God and her son over him.
I think he is
Indeed.
tormented. I think that's why he's so tormented. The problem is that nobody is telling him that he's not going to be rewarded for this. He's still in the mindset of the more fool I act, the more money I'm going to make. I'm being rewarded for acting a fool.
But
He's not really realizing that the tide has changed.
does he not realize Whack is his worst enemy?
No,
Wack
he
wants to
hasn't.
be him. If
He,
Wack could skin him and wear him, he would.
and that's
Okay,
the thing. Whack has allowed Blueface's finances to go down the drain because why were you not handling his stuff while he was incarcerated? I've gone through this. He is the person, he has already said on record in court. I read this document a couple of years ago. I think it was last year or the year before probably, where Whack said when he was in court for the game that he basically likes to keep his people in debt because then they always owe him.
oh,
So at the end of the day, he's a shady businessman who does shady business deals, and therefore he doesn't do anything that is going to be beneficial to any of his artists. What artist has become an internationally known, recognized, accredited, acknowledged international superstar? Nobody. Why hasn't 100 ENT or whatever his music label is, Fifth Amendment, whatever it is? Why isn't that the new label of the West Coast since Death Row is really no longer? You're not a prominent label. Nobody really likes you. I could tell you from New York down to Florida, people may tolerate you, but you don't get the respect you think you do. You just get that respect online. People in the West Coast don't like you. They don't respect you. They got a line of people waiting to knock you out. Um,
okay, honey. Does he not understand? Okay, excuse me. You see how they treated him when he tried to put himself, tried to bully the people when they security at the Aiden situation when with the boxing. Did
Mm-hmm.
you see how he was trying to bully security? Not and they let um Neon in before Whack, and he got
Yeah.
offended. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So Whack was trying to bully that security. Whack always tries to bully someone, just like he's trying to do with Aiden. Now, Blue, his mouth gets him into trouble too. But Whack, I think his karma's gonna come. You know how Whack is setting everybody up. The Rat 100. I'm telling you, just like he's recording everybody and they're listening to all his stuff, I think when the feds are done with him, they're going to throw him to the wolves. Because when I tell you, Whack is behind a lot of stuff, and people are he's trying to take down all these people. But Whack, you're doing the same thing on the recorded lines, but you're letting everybody else do it. So, Whack, just like they watch all these videos, they're watching YouTube. So I feel because they did it to my nephew was doing all this, but he was also using, he was setting people up.
Mm-hmm.
Then one particular time that he went and did something, boom, all these people that you set up, they threw you to the wolves. Oh, you're going against us. So let me just go ahead. Whack pull. Okay, when I first heard of Whack, I was like, he's got to be a snitch. Talk about, I got the paperwork this, paperwork that. I got the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be a snitch. And then as matter of fact, honey, I was on your page where I seen actor Chuck. So then
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there and I was going through this paperwork and I was like, wait a minute. S CS2 is Whack 100. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
OMG. I was right all along. That's how I stumbled upon you and actor Chuck's at the same time. So I was like, I always stay with you, go to actor Chuck's, go to other different places. You know what I'm saying? And I found, but does everybody forget all these hate pages and all these people, mainly people that are our age that you know what I'm saying? We got
Mm-hmm.
children that are the same age as Chrisean. We was all young, dumb, wild, free. You know what I'm saying? At that age, she's a baby. And let's put it out there. Let's call a spade a spade. Blueface introduced her to the weed and the alcohol.
Right.
So, with this being said, Blueface was trying to groom Krishan just like Carlissa did Jaden. But I feel Carlissa and Whack are behind a lot of these things. Just like TMZ. Remember
Mm-hmm.
she called TMZ to come out
Right.
and see Blueface and the Love and Hip Hop retired 304 when they was
Mm-hmm.
together. She called
Right.
TMZ. So
Well,
I
no,
know
I
Right.
she got
think
the most.
you guys, I believe Hazel herself is a PR person.
She was.
So she had a lot to do with that. I don't think that Carlissa got the power y'all think she got. I think that she desperately wants to be famous. She's a failed actor, and now she's trying to live through her child. And we got a lot of cuckoo people like her walking around Los Angeles. Of course, she can't afford to live in Los Angeles. She in the desert.
I just don't
I,
understand.
I really don't think that I think it's Whack. I think Whack is the person that is behind probably 99% of this stuff.
I think Carlissa, she's gonna go even balder. She's blaming it on alopecia. It's not alopecia because if alopecia with it's acting more than just that one spot. That's God pulling you to tell you, listen, man, I put a patch there and I can take your whole head. So chill out. But obviously she's not taking heed. But I believe Whack, Carlissa, and Blueface. And I pray because I don't wish no harm on nobody, but I pray that they all are protected, because when God comes and starts handing out their punishment, they can honestly say, "Oh man, I did this because I touched and I've been messing with God's anointed one." So, with that being said, I pray everybody, Henny, I
Yes,
pray
ma'am.
that you pray and give it to God and take it off your head, because I don't want to see you going bald.
Girl, I got too much here to ever have that happen. I
That's
ain't worried about that. I'm not going bald.
But I know stress can do a lot of things, and I know this is like you said, you this is your basically your bread and butter. You know what I mean? But Whack, he don't got no hold on you. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
let me say this. I emotionally detached, and that's what I had to do because you have to remember I went from being um a supporter in the comments and all of that to being a content creator. And one thing that I realized is doing this, I cannot be out here responding as I would if I were in the comment section. Number one, it doesn't get me anywhere. I can be selective, but why be selective? A lot of people be like, I don't want to hear from Carlissa. But when I do the videos, people watch the videos because they want to hear what I got to say about what Carlissa said. They want to hear what she said and what did Henny say. So if I just decided not to post her ever again, then that's not giving you guys the full story. There's times that I have second guessed or said I'm not going to post that Jaden video because no, I'm going to do what I want to do and report on what I want to report on, how I'm going to report on it, because that's the job. That's what I am here to do. So I had to take my emotions out of it. Now, at one point in time, I was literally getting sick because my blood pressure would go up. My stomach would get to getting queasy. My nerves would be on edge because there was so much going on, but I was emotionally attached. I'm not emotionally attached anymore. It took me some time to do that. So there's times when there's certain things that will stress me out, but my days are not that anymore because my job is to give y'all the story. And sometimes y'all might not like it. Sometimes she may do something and I'm going to have to call it out and y'all going to get mad, but it is what it is. Just like the situation that happened with her saying what she said about the Crips. I had to come on here and I had to say to y'all, nope, I don't stand with that because she has no business talking about that. She has no business getting involved in that. She's going to bring some shit on herself. And people were mad at me for saying it. Well, what happened? The Compton situation happened. And then people were like, well, damn, Henny, you was right. Because at the end of the day, supporting somebody doesn't mean that I'm complacent to everything that they do, nor does it mean that I have to shut myself off to what else is going on just because I support one person. So emotionally attached, no. Losing my hair, no. Stressed out, no. I only get stressed out when I'm looking and I'm like, damn, the day is almost gone and I ain't put a video out. That's what I stress about.
Another thing, also, I can't forget Jaden. Jaden puts out this music, right?
Mm-hmm.
She got to wonder why it's not going anywhere. God is not letting it go anywhere because she's attacking in her videos. She's attacking who?
She doesn't have any appeal. It
Right.
was just a bunch of people who were Chrisean haters and also paid posts and bots and everything like that. Nobody cared that Jaden even existed until Chrisean showed up. There is nothing about her that is a star or it has a charismatic quality or any type of talent. Um, I find her very offensive, but I also blame Blueface and Carlissa for allowing her to say and do the things that she does.
Blueface wrote her music. That's why.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It wasn't
Yeah.
even her. He was writing those diss songs
No,
to
no, no. She
Krishan.
just talks like that, period. I'm talking about as a black person, black woman, I find her extremely offensive. And I
Mm.
think that I won't say we, but I think a lot of people, especially people that are not from LA, look at her as sort of some kind of victim or somebody that got swept up in the situation. I don't see her that way at all. I see her as somebody who is kind of like the vampire from the movie Sinners. She found this family of Black people where the mom had some connections, wanted her kids to be in the industry, and she latched on to these people and will not let go.
Wait a minute.
Mm-mm.
We all seen the curse
I agree
I'm
with
love.
her.
sorry,
I
that's
agree
how
with
I
her.
see her. That's
Did
I
how
agree
I've
with her.
always
I
seen
agree
her.
with her.
hey,
That's how I've
I agree with.
always seen her.
I agree with her.
And Blueface has always been with other girls. Like it was never like him and Carlissa trying to write
facts?
this history that it was just him and Jayden. They were these high school sweethearts and blah blah blah. He even said it out of his own mouth. I believe he even said it in front of Jayden. There's always been other girls. He was never ever just with her. She is just the one that won't move on. And I find her relationship with Carlissa disturbing and inappropriate. You're not with this man
She's
anymore. He
been
got a
there.
whole nother woman pregnant. Why are you hanging out with his mama?
She's been there since she was 14. She's been groomed to be in that position.
Thank you.
That's the difference. That's why I don't agree with that, because she's been groomed to be there. Carlissa has talked about in the past how Jayden was groomed without coming right out to say she groomed her. She told her what to do and what not to do. How
So
she's
you
Carlissa
supposed
saying
to
Hen
said
and
let
a
her
Jaden
lot
know.
of
have?
crazy
Can I?
things. I
She
mean,
has
I
said,
had a
but she
best
has.
friend and a
She,
boyfriend. I was very close with both of their parents when I was 14, 15, and eventually I moved on with my life.
but were you groomed to stay there? That's the whole
I
thing.
don't really
Jayden was
understand what
being.
this grooming thing is. I have one of my exes, I haven't talked to him in 20 years. His mama still called me. So I don't really understand. I don't think that Jayden was groomed. I think that she
She
lucked
was.
up on some
How would she
people
be
that she
lucky?
felt could give her some level of access or something that she couldn't get from her own people.
There was no access. Carlissa was not a movie star. She was a
No,
D-list
I'm not saying
actor
she
at
was a movie
best.
star. She was
And Blue,
trying to
wait a minute,
be.
hold on. Blueface was not a superstar athlete. He was a good football player and he was on his way to college, but they weren't who they are now.
No,
She
I'm not saying that,
and
girl. I'm
he
from
met.
LA. I know. But what I'm saying is this.
You're not letting me
She,
finish what I'm saying before you cut me off,
I'm
though,
so sorry.
because I've been here. That's the whole thing. I've been here for 5 years. There's a lot that I have witnessed and that I've heard with my own two ears and my own two eyes. Carlissa has talked about how she trained Jayden, how she groomed Jayden to be a woman for a man, but most specifically for her son. Carlissa keeps Jayden reeled in. She's not, listen, that girl is not going to go nowhere. This whole love show that they're doing, it's fake. It's fake, and they're just doing it so that they can try to get more people to come over. Jayden is not going to leave Blueface alone because she does not know a life without that man. She doesn't. She doesn't even want to work. She didn't want to work. She didn't want to do nothing. That man put her through esthetician school for her to get a career.
Oh,
What
guys,
happened?
I
She
gotta
didn't,
go.
it didn't even last.
I gotta go. I got somebody at my door. But thank you so much for
You're
having me and
welcome.
keep doing the good work.
Absolutely. But it didn't even last. She had a little mall booth thing and it didn't last. She got pregnant with Johnny. She went home. She didn't do nothing. The next thing we know, boom, she's coming out and she's snipped like a Barbie. She's been taught to be complacent to him. That girl ain't going nowhere no time soon. It will take a miracle for her to walk away. And she gets territorial when it comes to him. That's the problem. She doesn't get fed up. She gets territorial. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying this because I'm making an excuse for it. It's what my observation has been. And if anything, I would love to see her stand up and do her own thing and start rocking out and thriving on her own away from all of this, because none of this means her or her children any good if we're going to be honest. And if we're going to say something, she's been going through all of this the longest and she's still going through it. You think they really going to give her a love show to find somebody? You think she really going to go off and get herself a boyfriend? and Carlissa gonna help her.
Yeah.
I just say
If the dude if she find
Jaden,
a boyfriend, Carlissa will help her.
she need to figure out life. It's time for her to grow up. She is how old? She's close to 30. We're not even going to say she's 20.
She's a year younger than Blue. So if Blueface is 29, she's like what, 28 or will be 28 this year?
Right. So she need to figure out life now. She knows since 14, Blue's never been faithful. So for her to think that he's going to be faithful, well, listen, if she's in this and she like it, I love it. That's all I can say
She's
because
got to find her way out. Just like when people get groomed into situations with abusers, that's basically what this is. Because y'all remember when her and Callie were feuding and Callie told her to tell everybody the real reason why she got that neck tattoo and what he did to her? We still don't know what he did to her. Blue was putting hands, feet, and knee bows on Jaden just like he did Chrisean.
listen, I already knew he was doing that. Do you remember in some of the videos, for instance, I think he had his arm around her neck and her arms were out. You seen the bruises.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through domestic violence, you know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. Legs bruised, just like he was doing to Chrisean. You know what I mean?
That's
We
why I
all know.
say her fans keep pushing her to be with him. Y'all are, listen, whatever. Hey, Dre.
I
Hey,
pray that she get away from
I
everybody.
want
Hey,
to.
nephew.
Hey, Auntie.
Just because her kids go over to Carlissa doesn't
I
mean
don't think
she's
she
got
can
to go
hear
over to
me, Henny.
Carlissa's. Find
Well,
a
I
way.
hear you.
Find a
No,
way.
I think
If
StreamYard
there's a
do that.
will, there's a way.
See?
So, anyways, thank you for letting me come up.
Absolutely, Crystal. Thank you for coming up anytime.
God bless all of y'all. Honey,
And
God
the
bless
same
you
to
too.
you.
my hat's off to you because you got this, dog.
Thank you.
I'll see you later. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Hey, everybody. But
Hey,
Hey.
Dre.
Hey, Jay.
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was trying to ask Henny because he was describing Stockholm syndrome. I was just I was asking Henny if that was she describing. You don't think a therapist can help Jaden because it seems like Jaden don't have a lot of mental impact on this. That's why she act the way she acted. Why she bipolar. That's why she played this tough role. She's mentally depressed. She's emotional distress from being want to be number one. I think Jaden is lost in the world of delusion now. So I think a therapy would help Jaden, really check her back into reality, at the same time. And she feel like that she cannot move forward, she don't have to go to a therapist. No, she asked him, she was like, you think we need to go to a therapy? He was like, therapy for people who don't know what's right and wrong. She like, well, I don't think I can know individually. Well, all that she's saying, she do know what role she played in the situation as well.
I
So,
don't think,
that was I think she know exactly what role she playing in that situation. And it's not just because I feel like she's absolutely she been groomed, but absolutely as she taking advantage of the situation as I got kids by him and he been financing my lifestyle.
I mean, there could
um,
be some Stockholm syndrome in there and all of that as well. Like, you don't go through all of that for as long as she's gone through that and come out unscathed.
true.
She's not. She's not. Nephew, you want to talk? Nephew, what you say,
Yeah,
nephew?
true to a certain degree because after so long, you know what I'm saying, of being groomed, it becomes sometimes for some people it becomes who you are. You get what I'm
And
saying?
that's what
And
I was saying. That it's a part of who she is now. She don't know a life
hmm
outside of this.
she don't know nothing else, and is not having pity for her. That's just the facts. The only thing she knows is
Well,
this,
she need to go
and
to therapy.
she wants to be kept and by a rich ninja. You know what I'm saying? She want to be kept,
Who's
and
rich? Let me shut up.
they think Blue famous. They think he is a list celebrity. And he can't even get in the room with Chris Brown. But I digress. But anywho, she want to be kept by a rich one. And Henny, to answer your question, when you said, do I think that Carlissa would piggyback with Jaden? If that means her taking it back into the industry, yes. She'll sell out everybody surrounding her for her ticket back into the industry.
You make a
See,
point.
Carlissa is shallow minded. She's shallow minded. She's shallow minded. So when you shallow minded, you look at everything as let's say LTIs or this type of desire or this type of see Carlissa don't got her see Carlissa is so mentally challenged for this lifestyle that Nephew is right. She will compromise everybody, the kids and everybody. She's looking to compromise everybody.
Uh,
It's all about
you in the matrix.
Yes, she
man.
will compromise everybody. Like I said to everybody from the beginning, since we've been doing open panels and things over here, um, Carlissa will burn down the whole house to prove a point about that in one room. She's
Mm-hmm.
very narcissistic, and the blue is the same way. That's what makes him a narcissist because they will burn down the whole house to prove a point about that one room. Do you see how he burned down the whole blueprint that and everything that him and Chrisean built? Like the little, well, people will say a little legacy, but whatever. They built a whole little something, and he burned it down to prove a point to her. To prove a point
Right.
about that one room. Now you can't even get booked at a sellout show unless it's for somebody else.
Exactly right. Like you gotta understand that they are it's called grandiose. They want to be superior. Like Carlissa, for example, she want to take credit for everything. Carlissa didn't want to take credit for Chrisean coming out. Carlissa wants to take credit for everything. Like you got to pay that some attention. How she want to have that type of uh, what it called superiority, so support, being in power. So
Superiority.
that's making yeah superiority. She wants to be like she's inferior, and that's the type of mindset they have. So when Chrisean is doing things, Carlos is saying, "Well, she got here because I prayed for her." Whole time she praying for her downfall. She praying on her. She's praying on her. I'm wishing her well. No, you're not. Carlissa speak word curses over her and this baby. Every day I be in there, I be on there with on the lives. I be trying to debunk them and I'm debunking not debunking but rebuke them and send them back towards her because I know how to analyze dialogue. So you speaking word curses over her. So if Carlissa ain't in control, and just like I was talking about earlier when you was talking about it was whack, Carlissa was in it too. Carlissa was the one bringing Blue down too. I believe her and Wake was in that together because Blue did talk about that, and that's what people forgetting is what he is really saying when he do talk and he do speak the truth, but he don't care who get mad at him. Even when it come down his mom, he said, "My first restaurant. I tried to let her run it. She got loans in my name, credit cards in my name. Didn't even know about it." I believe Horn and Whack was looking at Blue as a meal ticket. Blue been always been their meal ticket. Whack he everything but a music man. If Blue go out here and play get a baseball contract today, Whack gonna be part of it. Instead of just being his music manager. I'm not getting it. I'm like you. I don't understand that part, Henny. He for real. Everything Whack want in on it for $1. So he can do so he can do side hustles and stuff with Blue money. Like that's the way Whack
So
is.
so basically what Whack and Carlissa, they where they work together is where you getting the feeling that they work together because they both say hell. What he did was he exit both of us out for Chrisean. So if we tear down her image, that leads him to need us. He can't he can't get her money no
Yes.
more because as long as Wack was doing the deals, he was the person that was getting the contracts, not Blue. He was
Yes.
signing the contract, so that meant all the money go to him, and he get Blue what he want him to have. It's called
Yes.
a pimp and 304 relationship.
They sabotage. They want to sabotage every room she step in, every opportunity she have. You know, when they cannot profit off of you, they only they the only next goal is to try to destroy you. They want to destroy everything. They want to destroy everything around you. They want to destroy everybody that loves you. I have dealt with narcissistic behavior. I have studied. I do my study every day. I'm talking about I use my expertise every day. They want to sabotage everything around you and the people that love you. So that's why Carlissa be over there talking to Charity. And that's why she go to the hate pages. It's all about trying to sabotage Chrisean because they feel like Carlissa still say this because she's crazy. She still say this, and we listen to her say this. She came between me and my son relationship. Y'all did not know this lady holding a grudge. Like she holding a grudge over something that really is not reason. It really was about the money that she told on Jason Lee that Blue went into the $1 million deal and got the $1 million deal with him and Chrisean for the show and then get it with her for her show. Like
Well, no, she at that time she didn't have a show, but what it was Carlissa was supposed to have been the one that set up the deal for Chrisean with Zeus, and she said that Blue went behind her back, or however she was trying to put it, and basically cut a deal and cut her out of the deal.
that what she been mad at the whole time. She don't told people this. Carlissa don't blankly say this stuff out her mouth. And comprehension is everything. Especially the type of person that got critical thinking and try to get the bottom root to what's going on. Like that's all been her. That's all been her over her grudge. That's all she been holding a grudge on. And she would not admit that. They'll never admit the truth. She'll never admit the truth. But she told that. So we know why you're still coming for her.
But see, there was always a feud over Blue with Carlissa and
It's
anybody.
always was
It
yeah with
was like,
anybody.
but it's like first it was her and Whack because Whack got to take the red carpet with Blue at the BET thing, and Blue act like he ignored her, like he didn't know her, and then it was her and Whack, her and Whack, her and Whack, and then all of a sudden it became her and Chrisean and her and Wack. Then her and Wack said, "Look, we better off teaming up to go against these two,
Yeah.
just to get her out the picture, and then we'll take care of him and do it that way." But it still ain't work because she was the attention. You know what I'm saying? Wack forgot that Blue wasn't getting no attention, but prior to Chrisean. That's what the big fog is here with them over there. They forgot. They thought like, okay, well, we got what we wanted from her. Let's kick her to the side. And he like, well, I still can't get in these rooms without her. And they like, yes, we can. Watch. We're gonna do it. And no, you can't. I haven't seen him get on a song with not even a C-list celebrity. You got me
Carlissa on
questioning
the
Kiki
Hollywood.
Palmer at this point. He got me questioning Kiki Palmer at this point.
Right now, she on the
What?
Hollywood Unlocked. Right, right. I said the same thing. She on the Hollywood Unlocked. Getting into it with the comments want to be seen. She on the Downer Project. Getting into it in the comments with Chrisean having interviews. Carlissa is so desperate for an interview and desperate to get paid and for the attention. She's up in there arguing, nobody recognizing her. She just
She
making
said she
her
want
mad.
her.
This boy is a
No, she said Krishan owe her some money for her getting her feet did. She want that money back. Remember, she
she
every time
lied.
she started, she said she paid to get what was it, Henny, to get Krishan nails did or something,
Uh,
and
I
she
don't
want her
know.
money back. The same way she want her chicken from Jaden, she want her money back for them nails. Krishan just go on and send her $300-400 and tell her shut the hell up. Ah,
I,
just send us
I
some
want to say
nails.
this, and I'm finna get off. I'm finna drop Henny to me to sit there and watch the whole world come against someone like that because they're being anointed. And when you born anointed, you're born with angels attached to you, ancestors. You're born with a lineage of of someone, and that you've been chosen already. You've been chosen in the womb, and then you have the demons that the devil done sent to follow you so you know what I'm saying you can go to each side. See, anointed person, they can use their anointing for the devil, they can use their anointing for the Lord. The thing about I like what Henny said is being a supporter. You know, I support what Chrisean is doing, especially you know doing on her spiritual journey and waking up and her awakening and her her learning and her using her discernment and doing right by her and her baby and leaving these folks alone and making it and striving. Her resilience is commendable to me. To think about this, and I said that last time I was on here about Krishan, and the thing about it is that she when she got on the Delta Project, and I told their nephew this the other day, and he say I said this. When she trying to leave a door open for Blue, no, God removing him. He's showing you every day he removing him. They're no good for you. Don't mess your blessings up and what God have designed for you going back over there to that family. No matter how they come at you, don't do it. Because at the end of the day, Father God Almighty know what's best. And I do not support her if she was to go back to him. I would not. Because she don't came too far. And everybody get mad at me. I'm not supporting that. Because I'm looking at that like my daughter. Because I tell my daughter the same thing. You got a man, family, baby daddy putting you through this. No. No. After everything he don't put her through. No. I tell my own daughter, I'm not supporting you going back to him. Matter of fact, I don't want him at my house.
That's
I
your
don't want him to
choice. You
bring the
can't
best.
control her life. That's her
I
life.
can't control it. I can't control it. I can't control it, but you know what I'm saying? I said I would say this to my daughter. I'm not gonna be biased about anything that I'm saying. What I'm saying is how I feel is that's her life. I can't control that. But what I'm saying is being supportive of her going back to that, to me, I'm not doing that. And I wouldn't care who don't like me behind it. Cause like I said, I look at her the same thing I say to my own daughter. They're just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you. I'm done with being emotionally attached to it. It's just me as being an older person who support her, especially in the spiritual realm, spiritually as a spiritual mother, as a spiritual sister. I'ma always pray for her and pray for her baby, cause
I
that's
say
what we
like this
supposed to.
when it comes to her personal affairs with Blue. I can't tell her what she can and what she can't do, just like I can't tell you who you can and who you can't date, regardless of my personal opinions on it. But don't mean I
Yeah.
don't love you and I won't support you in your
Right.
endeavors. I will love you and I will support you in your endeavors because who you choose to give your body to at nighttime is your decision. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got
Right.
nothing to do
Right.
with me. But if you out here, you know what I'm saying? Because she can go back to Blue. Doesn't mean she'll make a mockery of herself going back to him. You know what I'm saying? Is it the best thing for her to do? Hell no, because she came too far and she moved forward. But can we tell her what she can and can't do? No. That's her baby's father. The baby is only what, almost 3, and he's little. When you got a little
But
child like
not only
that,
but
oh,
not
go
only
ahead.
that, Dre, they've never had a chance at being a family. So I mean, only God Himself can remove that from her. We can't do it.
Right. And that's like
No.
me trying to tell my daughter, is she Christian age, not to go and have your child with the father if he's trying to do the correct things and not bring you down and trash you in the internet and how you looking crazy and this, that, and the third. It's all about how you represent yourself in everything. You can't
Mhm.
allow somebody to bring you out of your character if you come so far. Don't allow nobody to take you out of your character.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference when you grown and you healed. It's a healing process. You know what I'm saying? At that point, when we seen her going through what she was going through, she wasn't healed. She wasn't doing the things she's doing now. She's walking a whole different journey. So for her to be able to address and deal with Blue from a clear level head is beautiful because you won't be manipulated because you're not under any influence but the Lord's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's gonna walk
Yeah.
with you. So if she choose to deal with him, she choose to deal with him. I can't tell her not to because ain't nobody gonna tell me not to deal with my baby mama.
That part.
Well, I feel you on that, but you know what I'm saying? My daughter, my daughter 20. She'll be 21 her birthday. She had my grandbaby. And she got a nice, you know what I mean? Even though when people try to turn me against them, I ain't see nothing wrong with them. Like I went around him. So I didn't really see too much wrong with him. I did met him. He was very respectful to me, and he still is. And everybody was like upset when she got pregnant. I was too at first, but because I still want her to stay in college, and I still feel like she still go back to college. I don't think it's nothing like that could stop her. Like I try to be optimistic. So the thing of it is that if he's bringing my daughter down, different story. But if he's there supporting her, supporting the child, can't nobody turn me against him right now. Now he's very respectful to me. So I got what I see, not what I hear. So that's just the way, I just feel like Chrisean is doing a whole lot better. She got a lot of more healing to go. And with them still targeting her. All right, Miss Woman, with them still targeting her, I feel like they crying out for desperation because of the stuff they don't got themselves into. And she go back there blame everything on her. Like these people immature. This immature family.
Yes, they
This,
might blame
this
everything on her, but she operates differently. She's operating underneath a different spirit. That's like, you know, how is you ever supposed to move forward with co-parenting if you guys can't get past the past? And that means the good, bad, and the ugly. If you feel it could be a family there, see whatever. It ain't on me. It's not my life. That's her child. Every child deserves the right to know its father. Don't mean you got to be with the
listen,
person, but every child deserves the right to know a father. Did y'all hear me say father? That means he has to mentally get himself together. Because in the interview, she said you have to show me, not tell me. See, everybody's skipping over the fact of her say show, not tell. She not that same
and yeah,
Krishan no more.
Right.
yeah, and Carlusa is blatantly disrespectful. She says stuff for Chrisean to come out her character. She raised Vader. She is blatantly disrespectful. Like, like the stuff she just said on the live, like Carlissa knows she's disrespectful. She knows she wants this girl to come out her character. She knows she want to raise Vader and see how get her back in emotions and say what she got to say. But at the same time, long as they still on that type of time, no way they use her as a scapegoat. Like you ain't gonna use me as a scapegoat. You ain't using me as no scapegoat at all. Not me. You ain't gonna take your frustration out on me. None of that. I'm not. Whatever your personal problem you're going through, you ain't taking nothing out on me. Cause I'm not gonna be around trying to take the burden for it. I fall back and don't even give a damn. Like none of that. I have way more important stuff to do. Like Krishan got way more important stuff that she got going on. To be sitting up there listening to Carlissa and what she's talking about. For
That's
real.
true.
And
That's
then she's
true.
so narcissistic. You got to understand, narcissistic people use the Bible as a seed of doctrine to get what they want out of people. It's a part of a manipulation tactic. So she's using scripture of the Bible and deceiving the scripture and misinterpreting them because she's know that this girl is a child of God. She acting like Christian don't really have real spiritual people around her. Her and her sister fake faithless. Like you got real true spiritual people out here that's going to tell her that's not what they mean. You know what she's saying. She's trying to say this, she's trying to say that, but they can pick up their manipulation, especially when they got discernment and wisdom. It's period. It's period. Like Carissa is like I couldn't do with it. They erratic, irrational, crazy, nuts, like manipulators. You can go on with all that. You're not gonna keep using me as no scapegoat. Deal with your
And
own problems.
I get that. And two, I mean,
Yeah.
like I say, she's covered. We seen what happened out there in Compton and seen God covered her. So he ain't gonna stop covering her now. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing what she's doing and she's living a good life. I can't speak toward the future. Only thing I can do is deal with it when she get there. But for now, I see what she's doing for now, which is do taking care of her son. She says she's taking him to physical therapy and she doing physical therapy steps with him in the morning. I'm proud of her. She doing what she's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? We all get caught up in what could be in the future instead of just enjoying the positivity of now.
And embracing it. Yes. Remember I was telling you she gonna get to the point where she going to embrace her journey. And that what I like about it. She's embracing it. And the way I'm finna say that she's being mentally strong, like people hate that. They hate when you're mentally strong where they can't manipulate you, where they can't gaslight you, where they can't try to, what I'm saying, tell you anything. And you begin to be a problem. Like, you're the problem. Stay over there. Like she told on there, leave me alone. I told the text message, leave me alone. You the problem. You want to make it look like I'm the problem. You the problem. Leave me alone. You have a problem so bad with me, don't talk to me. Yeah, they use this as a distance. No contact. I don't want to be part of your problem. I don't want to have nothing to do with you saying I'm your problem. Leave me alone. Get yourself together. Carlissa is so undisciplined. She lack emotional intelligence. She have no type of control over her emotions. She have her narcissistic rage and her, manic episodes, and then she gets on here and talks about Chrisean like people do not see y'all on here calling the whole family crazy. Dre crazy. This her mouth now. Caddy, she crazy. Blue crazy. We all crazy. My dad is schizophrenic, bipolar. And you really think you're going to go to court and get this child? You don't put that all over the internet of what you don't say. Like, let's talk about what's important. Let's talk about what I take and show the judge against you, Bob Chrisean. Look at this. Look at this nut case on here. 50-something-year-old woman cannot control her mouth, cannot control herself. She don't told the whole world they all nuts. Kelly got HDHD because what Carlissa don't put her down. Talked about it, feel like she wasn't good enough as a daughter. And Kelly tried, Kelly go out there and jump because she wanted to please her mama. And she's still doing it because she think Jaden is better than Kelly. That's your daughter. Let's really call that these family issues. You think Jaden is better than your own daughter that you birthed. You don't think her daughter don't feel some type of way? You don't think Kelly do stuff for attention? Well, I just be using my psychiatrist for this part. I'm sorry, y'all. Just be trying to, just throw a little stuff out there that people be missing. You know what I'm saying? You know. I mean, common sense is inedible nowadays. The people just don't have it. And they don't want to take good sound advice and do better. Like, I'll
Hmm.
never be the type of black woman to feel like I can't take advice from another black woman. I don't like that self-hatred. I don't like that self-hatred demeanor. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's all a learning process. And but each one to teach one. But they demonstrating that they're crazy. They all just nuts. And the dad, what he did this morning, I mean, they do anything for quick likes and views and compromise anybody because these people are materialistic, shallow-minded people. There ain't no God in them. Ain't no God even around. They God probably devil or money or fame. They would not tell them what they idolizing, but they're not idolizing Father God Almighty. And faith know it's people out there that going to debunk what she say. She know it's real. I don't know why could they get on the internet and say stuff like it's real people out here with real expertise and know exactly what's going on and can call them out. The blasphemy that Carlissa spoke the other day in the live, it was to people listening to this. Remember that I called it out the other day when I was talking about it. The whole live full of blasphemy.
Yeah, she was sitting over there talking about the Bible and she was speaking on it. properly. She was doing it to speak something over herself and her people that she liked that is ass kissers. But I'm shit.
She was projecting. She was
Yeah.
projecting. She
hmm
projecting. When Carlissa talk about someone else, she's talking about her past experience and who she was. She's not talking about them people. She's talking about herself. She just want to throw people in there to use a form of triangulation to have a third party in the mix. She was projecting. She's talking about herself. Because you can't
Well,
tell nobody about nothing they haven't experienced. Jaden and Blue is not married. What are you talking about, Jaden favored by God? Jaden over there, I'm me, my kids protected. You mimicking.
1 second, Auntie June. Henny.
I'm still here.
Oh, 'cause we.
What you mean? Did y'all? If y'all would have lost me, I wouldn't have been up here. They said Henny went to sleep. I ain't go to sleep.
Henry, you went to
My
sleep on us?
no, Mama Henny came in here. She brought
Diabolical.
me. No, she brought me. No, Mama Henny was just in here, and she made me some fresh watermelon and apple and radish juice. So I was drinking that and talking to her. And y'all was talking, so there was no room for me to get a word in there at all because y'all was having a good old conversation.
So, Henry, what do you think about what we're saying? Do you see that?
I
Or do
don't
you
know
see where
nothing
we're coming
about.
from?
I don't know nothing about what y'all was talking about. I was talking to Mama Henny.
Okay.
I'm being honest. I was talking to Mama Henny and drinking my juice. Listen, my mom making me fresh juice. Yes, I'm here for it. And I'm going to stop what I'm doing to drink the juice my mama's making for me.
That's a blessing.
It is. And she's giving me fresh juice, not juice out the store, taking the fruit and juicing it to make me healthy juice. So yes, I'm going to be very appreciative of what she's
That's
giving
a
me.
blessing.
But what I am gonna say is, regardless to what, I don't know what y'all was saying, but I'm gonna say this: regardless to what and wherever Chrisean goes and decides is best for her life, if she decides that she don't ever want to deal with internet people ever again, just know that God got her, no matter where she's at, what she's doing, or any of that. God has her.
Yes, he do.
The only way that Chrisean can, the only way her path can be messed up is if Chrisean allows it to be. And I'm sorry, I think she sees too much good happening in her life right now for her to allow that to happen. But I'm also going to say to y'all that I am about to get off of here because I have been up here for a very long time and the sun is starting to set and I had things I was supposed to do. So, Mama Zay, I see you in the green room. I promise that I will go live again tomorrow and I will let you up. I apologize, but I really do want to get off of here and go handle some things. And I love y'all very, very much. And I thank y'all for joining in on the conversation. I'm sorry that I was not here for that last part because I was talking to my mama. But I love y'all. I thank y'all for tapping into this. I will see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a great Saturday. Bye.